Tell us about that. We're at the theater of Madison Square Garden with amateur standout and NYPD officer, 8-time New York City Golden Glove champion, who is making her pro debut at the theater of Madison Square Garden, Nisa Rodriguez. Nisa, tell us about how it feels being a New Yorker, being an NYPD officer, to be able to start your career here at the famous Madison Square Garden.
I mean, it's an honor because as an amateur, my first Golden Gloves, I was 17 years old. I was able to fight here in the Garden, and now it feels like a good omen that I'm starting my pro debut, and there's only good things to come from here.
How does being an NYPD officer in the state of New York City prepare you to get into the ring and do battle?
I mean, over my amateur career, I've always had that, all right, it's either you or me. Being within the NYPD, you learn to have no fear. So it would never be fear against my opponent. I respect everybody that gets in the ring, whether it's with me or anyone else. You have to give respect because it's easier to commentate from the outside and say what someone shoulda, coulda, woulda done, and actually getting in the ring and dealing with it.
How's it feel to go from fighting crime to fighting for a different cause?
I feel great because I think within the boxing as an amateur within NYPD, I've always had that following of women that, you know, I was a teenage mom, I went back to school, I'm doing something with my life. Besides boxing, I'm making a difference in my community. I'm proud from the Bronx. I was honored to have my manager, Keith Sullivan, to look out for me in the facility in Flatbush Gardens of New York City Cops and Kids. That was made by another retired cop, and they're making me be more the role model that they started to push for me. So I just want to continue that.
Speaking of Cops and Kids, that's a great organization built of cops and NYPD boxing team, and they're there for the kids of the community, kids that may be in trouble if they had nowhere to go. Tell us about a place like that and how that can be instrumental to helping the NYPD make better streets.
New York City Cops and Kids, it's like I said, it's a program that we need more of. It's sad enough that we don't have enough gyms like that. I know growing up, I had to pay for the gym. I had to pay for a trainer. And if it wasn't for New York City Cops and Kids, I used to travel from the Bronx to Brooklyn. And it pushed me to be a cop and pushed me to go back to school. So now I'm doing something with my life, and that's what I try to do now. I try to base myself more out of that gym, and we're pushing for our kids not just to have a job, to have a career, to look forward, to give back to the community, because that's what it is. It takes a village.
Tell us about Tom Loeffler's 360 Promotions, being able to first and foremost put on women's boxing and bring you onto this card on such an eventful night.
Oh, Tom Loeffler and 360 Promotions. It's good to see these managements and these promotions putting on for women boxing, because we bang just like the guys. We get in there, and I feel like sometimes the girl fights are a little better than the guys. So not to take away from the guys, but we do add a little razzle-dazzle. So it's an honor to have that support. So all over, just the community, the department, 360 Promotions, it's good to have that, like, we have your back.
Any closing thoughts for the boxing fans and those who will be in attendance on Friday night?
Thank you for showing up, thank you for coming, and just remember what you do here, pay it forward.
We appreciate your time and good luck on Friday night.
Thank you so much.